Hook beginning. People passed her every day, some with pity, most without a glance. But not one of them knew the storm she had survived, or the miracle she was about to become. Before we take you into this unbelievable journey, if you're someone who believes in second chances, in miracles, and in the quiet strength of the human spirit, please like this video and subscribe to Everyday Grace, where stories like this remind us of who we truly are when we've lost everything. And choose to rise anyway. The story, it all began on a frozen bench outside a 24-hour diner in downtown Seattle. Her name was Alina, 28 years old, wrapped in a donated army coat 2 sizes too big, hugging her knees to her chest like they were her only source of warmth. For most passersby, she was just another homeless girl. But years ago, she had been so much more. Just 5 years earlier, Alina had been working as a pediatric nurse. Bright-eyed, kind-hearted, someone her patients adored. But life has a cruel way of testing even the most gentle souls. When her mother passed unexpectedly from a heart attack, Alina was devastated. A few months later, her younger brother, her best friend, was killed in a drunk driving accident. The grief crushed her spirit. She tried to keep working, but every time she heard a child cry, it reminded her of all she'd lost. Slowly, she stopped showing up to shifts, lost her job, and fell into a spiral of depression and guilt. She tried therapy. She tried reaching out to friends. But in a world that moves too fast for those who are grieving, she got left behind. Rent piled up, eviction followed. And just like that, the girl who once saved lives was now living on park benches and shelter. Floors, people whispered, "Addict," when they saw her sunken eyes and trembling hands. But Alina didn't touch drugs. Her addiction was something else: shame. She had begun to believe she deserved this life, that somehow she had failed. But then came the night that changed everything. It was raining hard, and Alina had no choice but to take cover behind a bakery dumpster. As she shivered, trying to keep her soaked blanket over her legs, a voice called out, "Ma'am, are you okay?" She looked up, expecting judgment. Instead, she saw a teenager, maybe 16, holding an umbrella, his face full of concern. "I brought you soup. My mom makes extra sometimes. I hope you don't mind chicken." Alina was stunned. No one had spoken to her with kindness in months. She took the cup with trembling hands. "Thank you," she whispered. That boy, his name was Jaden, didn't stop there. Every few days he brought her food. One day he handed her a worn notebook. "And a pen? You should write?" "My mom says when you can't speak your pain, write it." So she did. Each night, by street lamp or diner window light, Alina scribbled pieces of her story. Her childhood, her dreams, her heartbreak, her fall. One night, Jaden took the notebook. "My mom's a librarian," he said. She read this and cried. She showed it to someone. "They want to meet you." Alina hesitated. But something inside her stirred. A tiny ember of the girl she used to be. She agreed. That meeting turned out to be with a nonprofit organization focused on helping homeless women rebuild their lives. After hearing her story, they offered her a spot in the transitional home, therapy, clothes, even the chance to finish her nursing license again, if she wanted. But it wasn't easy. Alina had to face her grief, her guilt, the mountain of trauma she'd buried under silence. She cried during therapy sessions. She relapsed into hopelessness many times, but every time she faltered, Jaden visited, reminded her of who she was, who she could still become. Months passed, then a year. Alina didn't just recover, she grew. She volunteered at shelters. She mentored other women who had hit rock bottom. She took her exams again and passed. In the second year of her recovery, she got a job offer from a children's hospice, the same building where she once worked. The director had read an article about her in a local paper, "From Homeless to Hero, One Nurse's Return." When she walked through those hospital doors again, in crisp scrubs and confident steps, nurses applauded. One child asked, "Are you the lady from the paper?" She smiled. "Yes, but I'm also the lady who's here for you now." Years passed, and Alina's story became a symbol of hope. She gave talks across the country. She helped launch a foundation to support homeless women with professional backgrounds. She became what no one ever expects from someone who was once on the streets a hero, but the person who had started it all, the boy with the soup and notebook? Jaden? At her first big speech, she invited him on stage. As he walked up, now a college student studying social work, she turned to the audience. This young man reminded me that even the smallest kindness can change the entire course of someone's life. He didn't see a homeless woman, he saw a human being. The crowd rose in thunderous applause, and that night, after everything, Alina sat quietly by herself. Looking up at the stars, she wasn't cold anymore, she wasn't alone, and she was no longer broken. Ending message. So the next time you see someone lost on the sidewalk, don't just look away. A smile, a meal, a word, it might be the first brick in rebuilding their life. Alina's story isn't just hers. It's the story of what happens when grace meets courage, and when a broken spirit chooses to rise. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and share it with someone who needs hope. And don't forget to subscribe to Everyday Grace, because the world needs more stories like these.